Tuesday, another day for your favorite publication, The Zone. I'm Anchika Pofi and welcome to Generation C.
I'm Jamie Loss. Generation C consists of 3 segments, namely The Zone, School Corner, and Varsity Chat Room.
The Zone is published every Tuesday in the Namibian Sun, the Allgemeine Zeitung, and the Republican.
Today is World Asthma Day as well as World Press Freedom Day, so let's stay tuned. Today in studio, we're joined by Precious Nghitaunapo, a journalist. But before we get into that interview, let's take a look at this week's pages in the Zone.
Well, on the front page, we have 2 teens that will be representing us in the Teen Star International. So, Keisha Jameen Antonius and Etuna Shikalepo, who will be representing Namibia.
What is happening? Yeah.
Wow, they're truly representing our country.
Indeed,
It's
indeed.
great to see. Well, on page 2, we have an article by yours truly, Jamie Lee Loss, on the World Press Freedom Day, and UNESCO will present a panel discussion on internet transparency, sharing revenues equitably to support ethical journalism. On Thursday, the 5th of May, 2022, the panel discussion will be held at the Namibia University of Science and Technology's auditorium near the library and will be broadcasted live on the UNESCO Windhoek office and Information Ministry's Facebook pages. So do make sure to watch the live broadcast and to go listen to the panel discussion.
Wow. World Press Freedom indeed.
I mean, as journalists, we can definitely appreciate the day.
Indeed. Well, also on page 2, we have this week's photo of the week. So the photo of the week, we have a picture of the opening day of the Career Fair 2022, which took place from the 26th to the 28th of April. Learners from different schools attended the fair. The Career Fair is held annually, and its main aim is to guide learners on the path to choosing the right careers that are suitable for them. Different companies and departments were present and provided learners with sufficient information for their potential career paths.
Well, I definitely remember when I was in high school and I went to Career Fair, it definitely did give me more direction and give me more insight on what I actually want to do. So I think it's a great initiative.
Indeed it is, yeah.
Moving on to our box pop, the Zone team asked journalists, what is the importance of World Press Freedom Day to them? Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi guys, I'm Jamie Loss, a junior journalist at My Zone. I just wanted to mention that I feel like World Press Freedom Day is very important in our country because we as journalists need to have the right to write about anything at any time without being afraid of being threatened, of being killed, of being treated like in any type of way that might harm us or our families. So I do genuinely appreciate this day because we have the right to write about anything at any time and no one will do anything to us.
World Press Freedom Day is important to me because it means that I have the floor and the platform to express myself without any dangerous repercussions. And I think that is so important, and it's something that we should constantly value and appreciate. So as a journalist, I'm so grateful that I have the platform and I have the job to express the story and tell the stories of the Namibian people without being crucified for it.
Hi guys, my name is Precious Nghitaunapo, and I personally feel like World Press Freedom Day is extremely important, especially for journalists in the industry, just to celebrate the fact that we can freely write what we want and that we don't face oppression for what we are writing, and that we are not imprisoned or we are not killed for what we put out in the paper or on social media. So it definitely is a great thing for journalists in the country.
Wow. Well, press freedom is very important, especially once again to us journalists. Well, on page 3, we have an article by Enzo Amwele, and the article is on the Denkwi Village School, part of the 6 Nye village schools in remote areas of the Tsumkwe constituency that was officially inaugurated on the 26th of April. The school boasts 2 classes for grade 1 to 3, hostel accommodation, toilets, and teachers' accommodation, which was made possible by generous donations from Daikon Limited and B2 Gold Namibia.
Well, thank you to B2 Gold because we appreciate the impact you're making on our community.
Most definitely,
Good morning, everybody. I am Tui, the principal of the Nana Village Schools. And the Nana Village Schools consist of 6 schools, namely Norma Village School, Benskem Village School, Dainpos Village School, Kauru Village School, Katoba Village School, and Dimwe Village School, which we are today. So we are so happy to have a new school built in Dimwe. First, we are having 2 classrooms which are tents, and later on we got some good Samaritans, some donors who help us and come in to build for us these structures. Now we are having 2 classrooms, accommodation for boys and girls, that's now the hostel, accommodation for teachers, toilets, and kitchen. We are also having the old school called Dimwe. It's how it was. Then people shift from here to the new village, new Dimwe.
I wish to reaffirm to the community here, to the traditional authority, to the UNAM Development Fund chairperson and board members, and everyone present, that the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture will continue to honor and, if need be, revisit the memorandum of understanding that we have with the UNAM Development Fund to ensure that we live up and honor our pledges and commitment that we have made.
It is universal accepted among built environment experts that our immediate environment influences our mood and behavior. Research has found that school buildings can tell students who they are and what they should think about the world.
Well, also on page 3, we have an article on commercial advancements training schemes that creates great employees. This is the CATS program, of course, and it's an apprenticeship program where students get to work and learn at the same time.
That is quite an amazing initiative there.
Amazing indeed. Let's take a look.
If you ask any graduate from CATS, they will tell you it's a very difficult program. Usually I say everything, there's nothing that is supposed to be easy. To achieve something, you must go through some kind of hardship. So saying something was difficult is just not an excuse. So my name is Thomas Kentolos. I'm one of the CATS graduates. I am an intake of 2018. I graduated in 2020. Today I'm a distribution supervisor at Rennes Logistics, and I was inducted by TNC. So, Mr. Sermon, thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to recognize the nurse members, the GIZ, and my mentor, Mr. Edwina from TNC. I also would like to recognize Tweety, our ex-CATS coordinator. So, somewhere in 2017, I was in the Air Force. So we had this exercise. It's a humanitarian SADC exercise, where all the SADC Air Forces was present here in Namibia. I was just a driver because I was a private, so I was transporting these officials. Now, when they go in the meetings, they left us in the cars because we can't sit at that table.
Also on page 3, we take a look at the Capricorn Foundation that has shown its support of the Development Workshop Namibia by donating 400,000 towards a project titled Strengthening Early Childhood Development in Namibia's Informal Settlements to contribute towards good quality early childhood education and learning opportunities.
Amazing. Early childhood development is always very important.
It is so important, very important. Well, moving on to page 4, we take a look at an article by Jemima Debele on the Gutta Institute that launched their Year 3 of Creative Entrepreneurship program.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Creative entrepreneurship. I want to see how that is actually.
Me too. Let's stay tuned to see how that went.
I'm quite excited. First and foremost, I think I received this link from like 3 different people. So it was definitely a calling. Ruben, you need to apply for this. So now I'm here and I got in, and I'm very much excited. I'm looking forward to learning, to the networking, to the connections that we have. Our industry is pretty smooth.
Well, on page 5, we have our school focus for the week, which is Windhoek High School. Windhoek High School is one of the oldest schools in Windhoek. This school is also referred to as the Blue School.
I really admire that school, the infrastructure, the learners, the teachers, everything about it.
Indeed, indeed.
On page 5, we take a look at an article, an Afrikaans article on die Risha Loopbaanskou is 'n oop en inklusiewe inisiatief wat leerlinge van alle streke ondersteun.
Page 6, of course, have an article on the NBF as it hosted their second zonal basketball tournament to choose the national teams. Let's take a look.
Hi, good day. Welcome to the Zone 2 Namibian Basketball Federation Under 16, Under 19 and Under 23 trials. It's a tournament at the same time, but it gives us an opportunity to pick the best players from the nation, not just from the Commerce region, but from the many regions as they are. There was a Zone 1 region, Zone 1 tournament that was held, let's call it about a month ago, that was held in Oshakati. That was from the teams from the north of Namibia. So this is for the central Namibian teams, so that we can make sure that we have inclusivity from the entire Namibian nation. So this tournament, as you can see, it's to ensure that it's a tournament, there will be a winner, but at the same time, it's to ensure that we obviously have the trials for each and every individual to get picked. So the tournament started yesterday. We've had great games. It's a round robin tournament to ensure everybody gets to play and get to be exposed and seen. It continues today and finalizes tomorrow with the semi-finals and finals. So we welcome all parties to come and enjoy and see basketball on the rise.
Also on page 6, we take a look at an article on the on a profile on Lemay Janse van Rensburg, who won the best junior female at the NSSU, and Matthew Raunbeinheimer, who won the best junior male NSSU, and they are both under 13.
Wow. They definitely came to show up.
I can only sub a well because, I also want to do sports, but this body said no.
Wow. On page 7, we have an article on the Kuz family as it seeks for assistance from the public because 4-year-old Bernardine Roy's left hand was amputated at birth due to alleged negligence at Keetmanshoop State Hospital.
Kinders in 2017, die 29ste is hulle gebore, Desember gebore, en in Februarie maand 2018 is die hand. Sy was hulle in broeikas, hulle was in die broeikas, en terwyl hulle broeikas was het hulle mos hierdie nampluitjie omgesit. En nadat hulle die nampluitjie omgesit het, het die hand, die bloed na voorkant toe gegaan en die bloed het gaan gestol in die hand. En toe het hulle vir haar Windhoek toe gestuur, sy die ma Windhoek toe gestuur, en Windhoek toe gestuur, en dis hoe hulle die hand afgeverwyder het. nadat hulle die hand verwyder het, hulle in Keetmans gekom. En toe hulle in Keetmans kom, toe het die dokter vir my laat ingekom om die kinders in my sorg te neem. Want hulle was altyd ook ondervoed geweest. Nou wat het met my was, my andere hand. Want die andere kinders het 2 hande, hoekom het ek net 1 handje?
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
Moving on page 7, we also have it. We take a look at our star teacher for the week, who is Tangeni Abed, the principal of Sederlig Secondary School.
What an interesting zone edition that was.
I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And the news was definitely interesting this week. I hope you guys grabbed your own copy. But now let's head on over to School Corner.
Welcome to the School Corner, where we talk about all things happening in schools. Well, on page 5, we have our school focus for the week, which is, of course, the Windhoek High School, one of the oldest schools in Windhoek. Now, here is a short video of what a learner from the Windhoek High School.
Hello, I am Fani Gous. I am in grade 10 in VIS. VIS offers a lot of sport, activities, and culture, which is my favorite part. I will tell any learner who wants to school at VIS that it is the best choice and they will not be disappointed.
On page 7, we take a look at our star teacher of the week, who is Tangeni Abed, the principal of Sederlig Secondary School. Let's stay tuned to hear what he has to say.
Good morning, good afternoon. I am Tangeni Abed, currently the principal of Sederlig Secondary School. My teaching journey started in 2005. I started as a teacher at PKWS Secondary School, where I moved on and was promoted to head of department at Karasburg Combined School. I later moved back to PKWS Secondary School, and I'm currently the principal. Perhaps just a little bit of advice for the teachers or my fellow teachers. You know, we had a motivation session in the cluster, and one of the things that came out of there, or that I took out of there, and that I want you to take along, is that you know, when you go to school, every school, regardless of where you are teaching, the moment you step your foot into or onto the grounds of that school, you are building a foundation and you are building a future for yourself. You are going out there to sell yourself. So it's always good to do your best wherever you are, because of the foundation that you want to build, because of the dreams that you want to achieve.
Don't forget to grab your own copy of the schools coming out on the 12th of May, which include, Hancho?
Windhoek High School, International School of Walfish Bay, the Dolphin Schools, as well as Sakopmund Secondary School.
Well, this was a great school corner, but now let's head on over to our interview with Precious Nghitaunapo, who is a journalist at Namibia Media Holdings, My Zone.
If you are just joining us, you're of course watching Generation C, the show that aims to inform the youth. Now, I am joined by a journalist here at Namibia Media Holdings, Precious Nghitaunapo, who is not only a journalist but is a media student at the University of Namibia, as well as the founder of Aziza's House, or House of Aziza, House of Aziza, where they specialize in a few pastries. How are you, Precious? How are you doing today?
Well, Hancho, I'm great. Thank you. I hope you're well too. Thank you so much for having me. I am excited to be here today.
Right. So, Precious, tell me a little bit about why journalism? Why did you actually come and work as a journalist here at Namibia Media Holdings?
Well, for starters, my career of doing journalism dated way back to high school, and initially it started off as something that I was doing for fun until I actually grew to love the industry. I grew to love what I was doing at that time already. So I decided to grow on from there, and I enrolled myself to do media studies at the University of Namibia.
Oh wow. So tell us a little bit about you've mentioned that it started way back in high school. Was that with the editorial team?
Yes, so it was My Zone, NMH's My Zone's editorial team. They had a school newspaper project way back then, and so I joined in grade 8. So immediately when I reached high school, I joined, and so I've been a part of the school's editorial team since my grade 8 year up until I matriculated.
Oh, interesting. And you've been writing from grade 8 to 12 and
That's
still
right.
are writing.
I'm still writing, I'm continuing.
It's such a great thing to hear that the editorial team, the My Zone school newspaper project actually does help scout a few journalists, because that school newspaper project is still running. Right. So tell us a little bit about your aspirations within this career.
So I just want to I want to build on the journalism industry.
Right, so you've spoken about beneficial to the nation. So what are you as a journalist doing currently that is benefiting the youth, or for example, like writing for the Zone, for example? What are those little things that you do that benefits the youth?
So basically, we are trying to get out a lot of messages that to reach the youth. We are focusing on news that are centered around the youth. We have a lot of youthful individuals that are doing very great things. So we focus a lot on that. We profile them and we share activities and programs that are ongoing in the country that contribute to them. So just sharing light on them, helping them grow, and helping them put themselves out there so that they can put back into the nation. After all, the future is in our hands, so it only makes sense to start building from there on.
True. Right. Precious, thank you so much for joining us. With all that's happening in the schools around the world, let's take a look at what's happening in the varsity.
On page 8, we take a look at the UNAM, the University of Namibia's Career Fair and Employment Expo that was held from the 26th to the 28th of April on the main campus, campus Gym Hall. With the alleviated COVID-19 restrictions and regulations, the UNAM community set this time aside to give learners, students and employers a chance to meet one another, establish professional relationships and discuss potential careers, as well as internship opportunities with potential corporates across the country. Let's hear what they had to say.
My name is Vika, and for me the importance of career fit, basically, if I were to sum it up, I would just say it's a place where like young people and seniors in high school can come to better understand their future and help them better establish what they want to do in the future. I feel like it helps give us perspective as young students. Usually we're always struggling to decide what we want to be, and I feel like seeing our occupations and different opportunities in action gives us a better sense of understanding. So I feel like it's not just a drive, but also a sense of direction.
The UNAM Career Fair is always very interesting, as I mentioned earlier.
It is really.
Yeah. But moving on to another story that we have on page 8, we of course have our varsity corner, which is about the Ondangwa born and bred 21-year-old Grace Hambinga, who is a second-year physiotherapy student at the University of Namibia. She first started with biochemistry in 2020 at UNAM's main campus and transitioned to the School of Medicine for her bachelor's degree in physiotherapy. Let's hear what she has to say.
Well, unfortunately, guys, in as much as we enjoyed this episode of Generation C, all good things do come to an end. So from Hancho and I, as well as the Generation team, it is goodbye.
Bye.